President Emmanuel Macron struggled to respond when he was quizzed about living up to the anticipated standards of his presidency. The awkward interview saw German broadcasters Tagesthemen and Deutsche Welle confront the French leader on his failure to reform Europe. In one exchange, Mr. Macron denied that he was acting like a disappointed teacher in his approach to the EU, and was not giving grades to fellow leaders. In another testy back and forth, the French president ripped into the German complaints that they pay the bill for Europe as completely wrong. The enraged leader insisted that France pays just as much as their German counterparts towards the Brussels budget. He also claimed that the reign of Germany over Europe was over, saying the system has benefited Mrs. Merkel's regime for too long. Mr. Macron added, Germany has a trade balance surplus with most countries. This cannot last. The ambitious leader admitted he was still waiting on Angela Merkel to come up with a reply to the EU reforms he proposed last September. Despite trying to be optimistic over his reforms, the interviewers confronted him on the fact that Germany does not endorse an EU finance minister. Everything that you envision is not going to be possible. Are you aware of that? When one testy back and forth, the French president ripped into the German complaints. The French president fired back, claiming that the current status quo in Europe is bad for everybody. Journalist Karen Miosque then quizzed him, 1 year into the presidency, are you still a superhero? Mr. Macron played down suggestions that he had presented himself as a Jupiter leader, and said these comparisons are not always true. The other interviewer, Max Hoffman, challenged the leader on his failure to lead Europe, following his ambitious reform plan. Miosque asked the French president, 1 year into the presidency, are you still a superhero? The enraged leader insisted that France pays just as much as their German counterparts. Does the EU still have a future? Max Hoffman asked, if you cannot manage to amend the treaty, if Germany does not have a solution, and if we don't find a solution, does the EU still have a future? Mr. Macron responded, until things are a reality, I'm not going to choose that option, that scenario, because I think that would be dramatic for all of us and bad for Germany as well. The French president was confronted with a blunt question on whether he was disappointed by Angela Merkel. Mr. Macron said, I am not here to give good grades, bad grades, or to say I'm disappointed. We work together, we are partners.